It's been like over a year since I posted anything. I just remembered about the channel recently. So, uh, let's make a video. Okay. So, um, last time I talked to you guys, I was like a month away from like leaving for basic. And yeah, now here I am going into January of 2016. So it's been a while. Let's see. On to basic at Forzo. It's part of Echo First and 40th battery there, and basics what you make it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it wasn't like, you know, the best thing ever. It tries people differently. It was probably more mental and emotional than it was physical. So that's my take on it anyway. Everyone has different perspectives of what happens, and yeah, it's what you make it of it. You can do all the research you want about Fort Sill and basic training, but it just won't hit you until you actually get there. Just like with me, it didn't hit me until we were making that phone call to like a family member or parents who we decided to call, and that's when I actually cried. I was in reception for like 2 weeks because it was just a mess. So that's when it actually hit me that, hey, I actually signed up to do something. Yeah, I didn't know exactly what it was. And then, yeah, so that was that. And then I went to AIT, which is Advanced Individual Training at Goodfellow Air Force Base in San Angelo, Texas. I was there for a very, very long time. Had something go wrong medically, so it just sucks. What else? I'm MI, so that's military intelligence. There's really not much I can say about it. It's just really is what you make of it. You be the smartest person in a room and still somehow do bad at our course. It's just different types of learning styles incorporated into one big thing, and it was very intense, kind of. Anyway, it was intense for me because I hate the idea of failure. So I was trying so hard to like make sure I passed everything. I was freaking out whenever it came time for tests. Um, Always second guess myself like all the time. After like our exercises, I would go up to my instructor like, "Hey, not sure I got this, but can you check this out for me?" They would, and they told me I had to like gain more, you know, confidence in my answers and my abilities. So that happened. Of The Army has been a very interesting time for me. I never cried so much in my entire life until I got to Texas, which is probably really sad, but very, very, very possibly true in my case. Um, so I had something medically go wrong with my ankle, and then I had like a bunch of family issues at the same time, and it was just like so much. And I was like right after I got to Goodfellow, so it was just a very trying time. I got my heart broken there. So like I said, very trying times. Yeah, it's how you think of it, I guess. The Army, it's not a difficult job in a way. It's everything else that comes along with it. The stress of being away from everyone you know, everything you grew up with. Um, Always knowing that in like 2 years you're possibly leaving where you are, and that people come and go. Like that's the difficult part for me. I've always been bad with saying goodbyes to people, and I get attached. Not very easily, but if I get attached to a person, I just like having them around. I like their presence. I like being able to talk to them, and there's not many people I can just like vent to. So like when you find people like that, it's very difficult when you have to say goodbye. So that It's possibly the most difficult thing for me being in the military is the fact that I'm in the middle of Texas and I did not grow up anywhere near here. Where I grew up is completely different from here. I didn't grow up around seeing cows everywhere and horses and smelling like actual like manure everywhere, and that's not how I grew up. I grew up in a city and I spent half my life in New York and then like half of it by the military bases in Virginia. So it's just like not what I'm used to. My family's nowhere near here. That's a different story of um I didn't really have a choice about staying in Texas. It was like, hey, you're going to Fort Hood. So upset, but honestly, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. And I guess that's one thing I learned too. That's one of my sergeants said here is that if anything, you have to be flexible and not like flexible like physically, flexible like mentally, because everything's always going to change, and that's one thing you have to get used to is change. And originally, I wasn't supposed to be going here. I had projected to Hawaii, and it was like, no, Fort Hill instead. I mean, Fort Hood. But yeah, so that's probably the most difficult thing for me is the fact that constantly things keep on changing and I don't deal well with change. So it was very hard for me to cope with. Um, my course wasn't that hard. I never failed the test, but some people make it, some people don't. I never really went to study hall, so um, had like a 90 average. But then, like, how well you do in a schoolhouse doesn't really affect where you get stationed, what you're gonna end up doing. There's like different things we could do with my job. So we have like strategic, and then we have tactical. Like right now, I'm at like a tactical unit technically, and yeah, it's just like strategic focuses on one thing, so that's where you're actually like doing your job. And then tactical is like you're doing real army stuff, like you're getting that army experience with the multiple Mondays and sweeping everything, flipping rocks, breaking up leaves, even though leaves are continuously end up falling. It's like stuff like that. That thing that almost everyone in the military goes through as a junior enlisted. But like with us, some of us gets lucky because we go to like NSA sites and they don't really focus on army as much. Anyway, that's what I heard. Not entirely sure because I've yet to go there. I know some people there, they love it. It's just, I guess, whatever works for you. You can find that you're so mad about where you go, but you have to make the best of it. You have to make the best of everything that comes along with being in the military. And one thing you have to do is like find people that make the experience not as bad. If you could forget how much you think your life sucks, do it. Have fun, go explore, and just make the most of your time. Goodfellow wasn't the best place for me. Very difficult times, but I met really great people as well while I was there. Really great sergeants, really great battles that I'm still in contact with. That when I'm freaking out, I'll like text them and call them like, hey, I really need you right now. And they'll talk to me and like make me laugh. So it's like stuff like that. It's not the place that makes something good or bad, it's the people. You could go to a great place but have a shitty unit and be miserable there. You could go to a miserable place and have a great unit. And it makes things easier when you're surrounded by people who are generally good people. And for the most part, while being in, I haven't been in very long, just a little over a year. I realized that almost everyone I come across aren't bad people. Yeah, the army has its jokes and everything. It's very, no, just gotta roll with the punches. that's life. And yeah, don't really know what else. So I'll try to update again. Probably won't, but yeah. Just roll with the punches, meet great people, enjoy your experience, get to know different types of people because people make the place. The places make the people. And someone once told me, don't let what you think should happen subject you to feeling like crap all the time because it doesn't happen. Because life throws a lot of things at you that are unexpected. This is one of them for me, and honestly, it's not that bad. So, if you guys have any questions, can ask. I'll try to give you more information. Not really sure entirely what to say or anything. This is like on a whim. If you can't notice, I'm like going everywhere. But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want.